Tithi is a duration which corresponds to the time taken by the moon to lead the sun by exactly 12 degrees. How many days does the moon take to go around the earth? It takes roughly 27.33 days. So, moon starts from a certain star, goes around the earth, returns back to the same star. So, this is known as sidereal period of the moon. Similarly, as seen from the earth, the sun starts from a certain point, goes around the earth, comes back to the same star. So, this period is known as sidereal year. Sidereal refers to motion in the background of stars. You are qualifying the year by the adjective sidereal in order to distinguish it from another thing called tropical. Yes, there is something called tropical year which is less than the sidereal year. Now, these two objects as they keep moving around, one moves slowly, the other moves fast. So, the moon will always be leading the sun. So, they will meet together at a certain point of time, and when they are almost in the same line, having the same longitude, that is called Amavasya, a new moon day. From then moon moves faster, and the time it takes to lead the sun by 12 degrees is known as a Tithi. Will it be of equal duration? No. Why? Both are moving and they are not moving with uniform velocity. See, if the two objects are moving with uniform velocity, then the duration it takes to lead will also be uniform. But we know that even if you observe the size of the moon during full moon day, so sometimes you will find in the newspapers saying that the moon will be very large today, and on other full moons it will be much smaller. Why is it? It is because of the proximity of the moon. So, which means that they are moving in orbits which are not centered around the earth, right. Sometimes they are closer, sometimes they are little farther. When they are farther, they will look small, when they are closer, it will look much bigger slightly. Now, since they are non-uniform in their motion, so the duration of a Tithi is not going to be uniform. So, sometimes it can be greater than a day, sometimes it will be less than a day. You can have a Tithi which even touches 3 days, which means, so before the sunrise the Tithi starts, it spans over the whole day and then it touches even the next day and then ends only after the sunrise. Now, in this duration you have 2 sunrises happening, and this will be technically called as Tridinasprk. So, that which touches 3 days, Tridinasprk. Computing the duration of a Tithi is not a simple task. Why? Because the problem is very simple. In terms of physics, suppose you say this has a certain period of motion, the other object has a certain period of motion. You are saying, so if this leads that by this many degrees, you will have the duration of a Tithi. So, you should divide this 12 degrees by the difference in the rate of motion of these two objects. So, this is as simple as that. So, that will give you the duration of a Tithi. So, when the difference in the rate of motion is going to be smaller, then this will be larger, numerator being fixed 12 degrees. So, this precisely is what is known as a Tithi. So, we follow various austerities. See, some people observe Ekadashi Vrata, see, some people observe certain other Vrata, Shashti Vrata. So, you should know on which day the Tithi occurs. So, this is a very important time unit, and this time unit is something which can be seen from the sky. If you are a close observer, so you will be able to see that today is Ashtami. So, based on, in fact, 2 days back as I was travelling somewhere, so somebody was asking this question, can you look at the moon and then tell what the Tithi today is? So, I said it should be Navami. So, it was. So, based on the size of the moon, if you observe closely, and this is something which is available for anybody to see. You understand? You do not need any device, you just look up the sky and you will be able to tell you. So, this is a very important time unit, and this time unit, so some calendrical systems they have been following, but many of them did not have this. So, this is which is very unique to Indian calendrical system. For instance, the Chinese did not have this Tithis. So, they are also very old tradition, they also maintain certain calendrical system. Koreans, so I recently went to a conference in Japan. So, where there were presentations from Japanese, presentations from Koreans, presentations from Chinese. So, they did not have this unit. Now, this is a short time unit which can be observed by anybody. And the next thing that you think of, which everybody is compelled to observe, is Amavasya or full moon day, see Purnima. That full moon, new moon is a periodic phenomenon. Now, how do you define a lunar month? See Masa for instance. This is a very natural way of looking, that I say a month is over when the moon returns back to the sun, which means a new moon day, Amavasya to Amavasya. In this duration, Amavasya to Amavasya, moon leads the sun by 360 degrees, right? It starts there, comes back. Will this duration be fixed? This will also not be a fixed duration, for the simple reason that they are moving at different speeds. So, it can be more than 30 days, though on an average the duration of a Tithi will be less than that of the duration of a month. By month I mean 30 days. So, on an average if you see, the period between Amavasya to Amavasya will be 29.54 days on an average. But a given lunar month which is made up of 30 Tithis. So, you define a Tithi as the time taken to lead by 12 degrees. So, 12 into 30 is 360. So, there are 30 Tithis which constitute a lunar month. So, that will be divided into half, one you call as Shukla Paksha, the other you call as Krishna Paksha. See, you call it bright fortnight and dark fortnight. Bright in the sense moon becomes brighter and brighter, reaches the full phase, then it goes down on the other side, the phase keeps decreasing. Okay, one is waxing, the other is waning. So, this constitutes a lunar month. It is a very natural unit of time which everybody would like to keep track of. See, you do not know where the moon is exactly, but this is something which is noticeable. So, Tithi is a unit which is based upon the rate of motion of the sun and the moon. 30 Tithis constitute a lunar month which you call as Chandramasa, and this duration will also not be fixed. So, it can be greater than 30 days, it can be less than 30 days. But since the average happens to be 29.54, 12 lunar months will not make a year. because we know year is roughly 365 days. So, slightly greater than that. Okay. So, now you know what Tithi is.